Hey everybody, welcome back. So, it's been a little while since I've done a Let's Get Real. I didn't do one last week, so I thought I would get on here, film something quick, give you guys a little bit of an update. When it comes to the infertility stuff, things seem to be okay at the moment. Nothing major is going on. I'm still trying to make sure I'm taking my metformin, still trying to hit those windows with my husband. You know, we're trying to do this on our own for a few more months still. So, regarding that, this week, my husband and I, within the last week, we had a discussion of how we both really want a baby, and we want a baby soon. To hear him talk about it the way he did was so sweet and so tender, and a little tiny part of my heart just broke off because I feel like it's my fault that that we haven't been able to conceive yet. We know I'm at least partially at fault as I'm not ovulating, but I feel like it's completely my fault. But, you know, we don't really know for 100% sure that that's the only problem we've got. I just have this fear that it's going to be more and more and more and piling on top of each other. And I think that's a very realistic fear as you go through infertility, that you're just going to have never-ending problems the whole way. I think that's a very normal thing to feel. When it comes to everything else going on, work is going pretty well. My husband's been stressed at work lately, so the weekend before, we celebrated our 1-year anniversary, and we ran away. Originally, we were going to go stay in a neighboring city and just kind of bum around and do things. But we decided to save some money and actually stay at home. But we still, you know, we took the time off of work and we only spent time with each other. So on that Friday afternoon, he worked a half day. And we went up a canyon close by here and we went on a picnic. We got attacked by bees on the picnic, so we moved locations. Ate in the car so we didn't have to deal with that again. But we ended up by this beautiful reservoir. And we just sat there and basked in its beauty for a little while and took some pictures. And it was beautiful and very relaxing. And then we went home, hung out for a while, got dressed up all fancy. Well, at least I got fancy. My husband wore his usual polos and nice pants, and I wore a dress, and we went up to Salt Lake area. I'm in Utah, so we're about a half an hour away from Salt Lake, roughly. We went about halfway to, like, Murray, Midvale area, and we used to live up that way. And so we went to our favorite restaurant up that way, we did some shopping, went to Barnes & Noble, and looked around and all those kind of things, and it was really a lot of fun. And then we just came home and had a relaxing evening at home. And then the next day we got up early, we went up to Salt Lake and we went to the Hogle Zoo. I haven't been since I was born and raised here in Utah, and I haven't been probably since I was 11 or 12 to the zoo. It was completely different. I've been to other zoos. I've been to like the San Diego Zoo and things like that, but I hadn't been to our local Hogle Zoo in a really long time. And so we went and decided to go and do that, and it was really cool. We had some really cool experiences. My husband had a really cool experience with the bald eagle. I had a cool experience with the river otter, and we bought little souvenirs to kind of match our experience. After that, we went and stopped by the Salt Lake City Temple, which is where my husband and I got married a year ago. And we took some pictures outside and just reminisced and felt nice. And then we stopped by the Lion House and got some rolls, because that was another thing. My mom had gone in and picked up some rolls for all of us because we were so hungry by that point. It was 3 o'clock in the afternoon. We hadn't eaten anything since like 8 or 9. So it was one of those things where we were all hungry, so we went in and got a roll to tide us over until we could get some lunch. And we have some really sweet pictures of Stephen and I actually feeding each other these Lion House rolls. So we decided, as long as we live locally, that we'll always have Lion House rolls on our anniversary, just to kind of reminisce and think about that a little bit. But, you know, and then after that we just came home, and relaxed and watched some movies and some TV shows and read books, and because we got each other a stack of books. I got my husband 4 books, he got me 3. And we, because the first anniversary is paper. We didn't know that when we bought the books. We just like books. But, so we were right on point with paper there. So we, so we've got this stack of books. I've read one of my books. I'm going to be starting the other one here soon. But, we really enjoyed our weekend, and we looked back on how we've grown in our relationship over the last almost 2 years. And we really, really, really have grown together a lot. And I feel like I was talking to my husband a little bit about this last night, about how fundamentally we don't feel like we've changed since we got married. Some people feel like they fundamentally change once they get married, or their spouse does. But we feel like we haven't fundamentally changed. We have changed. We've grown. We've matured together, and our relationship, if anything, we're closer and more cuddly and kissy now than we were when we got married, which is funny to most people. Most people are like, the honeymoon's over after a year. No, I don't think our honeymoon will ever end. I just don't think it will. And so, we were talking about that a little bit because I wanted to kind of bring up if marriage changes you. And I don't think fundamentally that it does. At least if you marry the right person. The right person doesn't want to fundamentally change you. They want to encourage you to be the best version of yourself because that's who they fell in love with. And I realized as I was talking to him that my first husband, we tried to fundamentally change each other. I didn't feel like I could be as geeky with him, all those kind of things. Little bits of me kind of leaked out over the years, but I didn't feel like I could do something like this, have a channel where I could have all things beauty and then have a separate geeky channel. If you're curious about that, I will leave a link down below with my geeky channel. It's mostly books and anime reviews at this point. I'll start adding in some other TV shows along the way as well. But it's one of those things where I think we tried to fundamentally change each other. Not on purpose, but that's kind of what we tried to do. And that's kind of why after 5 years, we both just were done and okay to be done. Anyway, that's not really what I'm on here to talk about. Right now, I'm trying to figure out some things with my channel. I'm going to be switching cameras. I would have used the new camera today, but the battery's dead, so I got to go charge that. So I'm just using my phone to shoot like I have the whole entire time I've had my channel, really. I used my laptop camera for the first little bit, but the quality improved a little bit once I switched over to my phone, so that's why you don't see me doing like Q&As with my phone in my hand like a lot of people do. Anyway, this is feeling kind of rambling, so I'll wrap up, but don't try to fundamentally change your spouse. If you want to change something fundamentally about them, they're probably not the right person for you. There's my 2 cents on it. Take that for what you will. I love all my subscribers. Thank you again for subscribing. Tell your friends. I would love to reach more people. But that's not why I have this channel. I have this channel as a creative outlet for me mostly. So anyway, I love y'all. Thanks for stopping by.